Harsha. Harsha. Yeah.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to our 20th episode. We actually made it to episode 20.
20 episodes already, dude?
20 episodes. If we didn't qualify for a Academy Award by now, I don't know what will.
Right.
But yeah, we hit our 20th episode mark with this episode.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's been kind of an interesting ride, I guess. You know, we started.
Yes, it has. Hey, who was your first
started-
episode?
It was back, I guess, in November, something like that.
You don't remember.
No, it was in November. Yeah. Yeah, it was in November. It was a bumpy ride. Remember, we started doing the Black Friday episodes at Walmart and Best Buy and
That's true. That's
Amazon.
true. Wow, November. Wow.
Yeah. So that was yeah, we had the Black Friday deals, remember?
Yep.
Yep.
So,
We've come a long
what's on
way.
the topic tonight?
Well, the topic tonight is kind of interesting. I called it Hackintosh. And I don't know if you've ever heard the term Hackintosh before. But
No, I have not.
back in the 90s, you know, Apple was going through a tough time. You know, they weren't the $1 trillion company that they are known today. You know,
Apple wasn't always profitable?
No. In fact, after
What?
you know, they got rid of Steve Jobs, you know, back in the 1980s after John Scully took over. And they had a pretty good ride, but then in the 1990s, you know, Apple wasn't selling much product. The Macs weren't doing well. And when Jobs came back, because, you know, the way it happened was that after Jobs left Apple, he started a company called Next. And Next was a computer company that built these workstations for universities and research centers. And the workstations were like $10,000. They were not cheap. But they developed an operating system called Next OS, and it was based under a Unix kernel. And as a result of that, the Next computers were used in the early days of Pixar. Because if you recall, Jobs also founded Pixar Studios, then sold it off to Disney. But the technology was based on Next. And then when Apple was on the verge of bankruptcy, they actually called Jobs back, and basically as a consultant to see what they could do about turning things around. And as part of the deal, Apple bought Next. And the deal with that was that by that time, the Macintosh was not a very powerful machine. It was running the Motorola 68000 series processors. So they needed faster processors. And they reached out to Intel, and they came to an agreement to convert from the Motorola 68000 series and the PowerPC series over to the Intel-based platform. And that went on for like, I don't know, 12, 15 years. And during that time period, there was a point in time where you could actually run the Mac operating system on both the PC and the Mac. Because what happened when Jobs came back, the Next operating system for the Mac was based on Next. It wasn't something Apple developed. It was already based on Next. And so OS X, or some people called OS X, was a derivative of the Next operating system. And so as a result of that, there was a lot of Hackintoshing going on, where you could run Mac operating systems on the what?
PC.
Yeah.
What happened?
Zoom saying that my meeting was going to end in 10 minutes. They're off the rocker.
What? You didn't pay for it or what?
No, there's no... can't believe it. I guess... because you know what? Because we're at the 45-minute links. Yeah, so if you get disconnected, we'll connect you back on.
Alrighty.
I'll send you a link, but we'll keep on talking.
Alright, cool. Alright, so you're saying that because of Steve Jobs, you're able to do the Apple operating system on a PC?
Yes, on the Intel-based PC.
No need to buy an Apple computer is what you're saying.
No, in fact, there's a way to do it. Just like there's a way to run Windows 10 on a Mac.
Wow.
The product they have there is called Parallels. But one of the things about this technology is that it isn't as fast as a real Mac or a real PC. There's a difference. But there are situations which causes people to be able to run both platforms on one machine. Whether it's Windows 10 on a Mac, there's hash brown. Or
sorry about that.
Or the Mac on the PC. And it's through the use of virtual machines. And there's two types of virtual machine technologies out there. One is called VMware, which is used quite a bit out in the corporate world. And then another one that's for free is called VirtualBox, and that's through Oracle. And Oracle has a paid version of VirtualBox and a free version of VirtualBox. And the difference is that it allows you to install a virtual machine session within the PC or the Mac. You can install
Wow.
VirtualBox on the Mac as well and do the same thing. So that's the way that the technology works. So let's go ahead and we're going to flip over to the theater, the stripped down version of the theater, because we can't have the screens, the theater screens up and running here. Let me move the Zoom session down here. And we'll go ahead and flip. And as you see, I have a snapshot of my second monitor. And the software, the virtual machine that's running, the virtual machine that's running is basically Oracle Virtual Desktop. Well, first of all, this is running on a separate machine. I don't have the software running, so I'm actually doing what we call a VNC session over to the desktop that has Windows 10. So I'm connecting virtually over to the desktop, my test desktop. And one of the things that you're going to notice is that it's just a regular Windows 10 desktop.
Yep.
Just like you see right here. And one of the pieces of software is called Oracle VM VirtualBox. And what Oracle VM VirtualBox does is it allows you to set up different virtual machines. And I have two. I have a virtual machine running the Mac OS, and I have a virtual machine running Linux. Okay, a Linux desktop based on Ubuntu.
Which is another operating system, right?
Which is another operating system. So I've got my main machine here in the background running the primary operating system called Windows 10. And then I have a virtual machine inside that machine running a Macintosh session. And basically what it is you've got access to the Apple, applications. Gotta log in. Now, I'm running an older version of the Mac operating system. But basically, if you want to go to Safari and surf, you can do that. Like I said, it's a little slower. But basically, you go in there, go to your search bar just like you normally would do on the Mac, and go to Yahoo.
All right, Dan, what are the benefits of having this virtual machine?
The benefits, for example, is if you're doing video, all right, and you want to do Final Cut Pro, for example, on the Mac, but then you want to do all your editing of a video in Final Cut Pro, you export it out as an MP4 or an MOV file, and then you can bring it over to the PC and import it into Adobe Premiere. And that's without having to stick USBs, copy the files over, and so forth.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So there's pieces of software that run on the Mac that are not available for the PC, and vice versa.
Right. Vice versa, yes.
Right. So, for example, for a long time, being able to run Microsoft Office on the Mac, especially Outlook, was not available for the Mac. So, those corporate users that wanted to use Microsoft Outlook for their email, not browser-based, but the desktop application, had to use Parallels to access Microsoft Outlook.
Gotcha.
So there are situations which may warrant the need to run parallel. But
So this
basically,
virtual machine is held somewhere.
yeah. Hold on. Why are you getting covered?
I don't know.
Hold on one second. Hold on. What did I do?
The virtual machine doesn't like me.
Why did you disappear? Ah, sorry about that. There
There
you
you
are.
are.
Yeah. You froze for a while. That's happened to me again.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
It's the
But
virtual
basic
machine that doesn't like me.
yeah. So basically here you've got your you've got your virtual machine and you've got your browser. Just like you do.
Wow.
Just the other thing, let me just kind of flip down here. Is you've got access to the App Store as well.
And do you have to pay anything?
Well, you create your own Apple ID just like you do today.
All right.
And so basically you can purchase just like you do through the Apple Store and purchase, software. Now, one of the
Oh,
things I noticed was because the M1 processor is now the de facto CPU on the Mac, you have a lot of applications exclusively for the M1 versus the old Intel platform. So the
yes.
likelihood of you seeing Intel-based applications is going to be less and less.
And you have a message on there.
Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken Nation. I guess he's somewhere in the South.
Hey, no, that's not South. Hey, is it?
I guess. I'm not sure.
Kentucky? Who knows?
Depends where he's at,
Yeah.
you know. But so basically the whole point to this is you can run a Mac right within Windows 10 just like that. You've got Windows 10 here in the background. I launch Chrome, you know. Uh, it's a pretty neat feature. Yeah, so, hold on one second. Whoa. We lost Steve. Hold on one second while I. There we go. He should be connecting here in a few minutes. That is so crazy. Zoom did that to us. Give us 1 second, folks. We just lost my guest. First time it's happened. That's weird. He didn't pay his bill. I sent you a link. Look at your messenger. You there? There you are.
Hey, what happened?
You didn't pay your internet bill.
I knew I forgot something. It's that virtual machine that kicked me out.
I know, right?
It's a conspiracy, I
Well,
tell you.
that's the first time I'd ever had that experience.
I think you did it on purpose.
I don't know.
Hey,
But anyway,
your Facebook comments are coming through.
they're not coming through?
No.
Wonder why.
You didn't pay your bill?
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, you know why? No, I know why. Never mind. Hold on. I forgot to pop it out.
Story of your life, huh?
Yeah. All right, hold on 1 second.
Why do I see you and I see myself on Facebook, but I don't see yourself on the laptop, on the iPad?
I don't know. You should see me.
I don't see you at all.
Huh. I don't know. But anyway, where are we? Where were we?
I don't see your background. I don't see anything on the iPad.
Maybe it's Apple retaliating.
It might be. It might be.
You know. Let me flip out to the other screen. You there?
I see on the iPhone, I see you. I'm on the Facebook.
I know why. Sorry about that.
Daniel.
Not. Well,
There
that's
we
what
go.
happens when you didn't pay your internet.
Dude. I don't have all that money you do.
Oh, I wish I did. So anyway, as we were talking,
Before I was so
let's
really
flip
hit
back.
out.
I know, right? So we have a virtual machine running. We have Windows 10 running Chrome, and we have a Mac. All right from a PC. Without
And you
having
say
to have
it's
two
good
machines.
vice versa.
Correct. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut this virtual machine for the Mac. And I'm going to go ahead and shut the machine down. And I'm going to show you how we can do the same thing on a Linux desktop. Now, are you familiar with Linux?
What?
Are you familiar with Linux?
No, that's why I asked. Linux is what?
Linux is basically an operating system that was derived from Unix. and it was developed by a guy called Andrew Torvallis. And the majority of the websites out there today run Linux under Linux. And
Really?
basically, yeah, it's a secure platform. But it never has caught on in popularity like Windows. It was supposed to be an alternative to Windows, but it never caught on. But what Linux does is that it allows you to run a windowing environment from using a slower PC. So all those old PCs, you are able to run a Windows-like environment.
Wow.
Yeah. You can also install Android running in a virtual machine. Yeah, so we'll give it a few seconds. There we go. And this is my Linux desktop. So it's basically the same thing. We've got Firefox. And keep in mind, this desktop is a little condensed. So in a few seconds here, we'll run. Yeah. There we go. So you've got a browser running under Linux. Okay. And then, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Microsoft Office alternative
No.
for free. Yeah.
What
Give
is
me a
it?
second while I find it.
Story of your life.
We've got a product called out there called LibreOffice. And it's just like
Never even heard
Microsoft
of it.
Office. Well, if you are familiar with the Android world, but even before then, the Unix world and the Linux world, it's basically an alternative to Microsoft Office.
Wow.
So, for example, it's got a spreadsheet. I already created one here. No. Wait. There we go.
Wow.
And it's, yeah.
I
So you
didn't know
basically,
Microsoft had a competition.
yeah. So for example, let's say you're plugging in some numbers. All right. There you go.
Just
And
like
then what
itself.
you can do, just like Excel, and then you can save it in an Excel format.
Oh, wow.
Yep. All without having to pay for Microsoft Office. And then you can also, if somebody sends you a spreadsheet in Excel, you can read it, modify it. So at the same time, let's say you want to close this. Let's say you want to create a PowerPoint. Just like in PowerPoint, you've got these slides. This is a little bit more condensed, but it works.
Right. But it gets the job done.
Right. And so you do a save as, and you can save it in PowerPoint format.
Interesting.
Microsoft Word.
When I was much younger, I used a program called Enable.
Yeah, yeah,
Enable had all these in it.
yeah. And you can do all kinds of forms. It's got all the spelling, the thesaurus, just like Office, Microsoft Office. But this is called
So how did they get away
LibreOffice
with it?
because they built it. They built it from scratch. So hypothetically, if there's another program here, where is it? If you want to do photo editing, like instead of Photoshop paying all that money, there's GIMP. And you basically can do all your photo editing. And hold on. Let's say you want to listen to music. You can do searches on
Wow.
Spotify. And of course, you pick whatever album there is out there. And of course, you go to the App Store, and there's all kinds of software that you can download. There's, this Slack is the new Teams and Skype.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's becoming pretty popular. You can also download Chrome as a browser. There's all kinds of like this video editor. You can import MP4s and MOVs. I'm going to install this one real quick.
Well, hey, so how much memory do you have on that virtual machine? How much
16,
hard drive space?
about 500 gigabytes. Oh, on the virtual machine.
Yes.
Oh, 4 megs of RAM, or excuse me, 4 gigs of RAM, and 40 gigabytes of virtual storage space.
And that's a free version, or you have to pay?
No, it's free. All of what I'm showing you is free. So if,
Wow.
for example, you had an older PC running Windows 10 or Windows 7, you download the Ubuntu Linux OS, reformat it, install it, and then you can download all this free software that allows you to do what a commercial application does.
Right.
And then some.
In other words, just repurposing your PC.
Exactly.
That's a good alternative.
Oh yeah, it definitely can repurpose machines that are still good machines into viable machines. So KDN Live, where are you, KDN Live? Oh, there it is. It puts it in the back when you first install it. But it's launching the video editor software. And there you go. You've got tracks and everything just like Adobe Premiere. And then, of course, Let me log in real quick. See if I can log in. I have other Linux machines here running. Hold on. Oh, sucks. You there still?
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm just surprised that all these different operating systems and do the same thing that Windows Cities do.
Oh yeah.
But right now, what is being used out there in the consumer world?
Windows.
And the education world is Apple, right?
Not necessarily anymore. It's usually what's really caught on is Windows Chromebooks
Like I know
because
in my
of the
wife's school,
cost.
they have iPads.
Yeah, I can't connect. Let me see here. Let me. Yeah, unfortunately, the iPad is still limited. Let's see here. See if I can connect to the servers. This is another Linux machine that I have running.
How many machines do you have running?
1, 2, 3, 4 for me.
Hey, and honestly, what do you use all those machines for?
Uh, well, one of the machines was specifically used for an email server.
Oh,
Yeah, which is the one that I'm on right now. Yeah, kind of like Hillary's email server.
uh-huh.
But basically the same thing here. I'm just showing you how a full Linux desktop
Right.
looks like. So there you go.
Do you ever
Yeah.
get confused on what operating system you're on?
No, because I know all of them. Yeah, I mean the Linux world basically is for a long time before the GUI. It was basically um, the command prompt
Right.
in the Unix world. So, uh, so basically, it's like different things. But that's what the old Unix world looked like. It was all command based. But you've got browsers.
Interesting.
Yeah, so basically Linux is great for repurposing. How did that get there? It's great for repurposing machines, And what is it? What does it involve? I mean, what do these virtual machines involve? Well, first of all, oh, I got disconnected.
You didn't pay your bill?
No, I did. I'm just trying to figure out now which machine it is. I got so many machines. Yeah. So basically, what needs to happen from the get go is you have to download the Oracle Virtual Machine VirtualBox Manager. That's
Uh
step
huh.
one. Okay. And you can go that by Googling for it. Then the next thing you have to do is you have to download an ISO disk image file. And in this case, this is for the Ubuntu Linux right here. And then right here is the ISO for the Mac OS. So what happens is that you have to create a virtual machine.
Within your machine.
Yeah, so I go here, I click on new, I tell it what type of Linux, I allocate memory, so I want to go up to 496, which is 4 gigs, and I want to create a virtual hard disk, and you want to do a virtual hard disk, and then you can actually do it, you can do it dynamically or fixed. Dynamically means that the hard drive increases and decreases based on what's running.
Right.
But I don't really recommend that because I think it slows your machine down. And then what happens is you assign the size of the virtual hard disk, and you can go from as little as 4 megs all the way to 2 terabytes. And then you click on create, and then you point the ISO image, and off it goes.
Wow.
Now the nice thing about these virtual machines is that even if you have a virtual hard disk, you still at the end of that session regain your space. Believe it or not.
And what about any files that you saved there?
They're there. I really don't know all the intricacies of how it does it, but they're there, which is kind of nice. But yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting the way this virtual technology works.
And this has been around for a while?
Oh yeah, it's been around for several years. Totally, totally incredible the way all this stuff has come about.
Right. I'll be honest with you. I've never heard of it. All right.
Yeah.
And I thought I knew a little bit about computers. I guess I don't.
Well, like I said, in the corporate world, in certain environments, the there is a necessity to have or use virtual machines. You know, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't know that. But let me tell you where virtual machines are also used. You've heard of companies like GoDaddy.
Yes.
Yeah, they host
Mm-hmm.
websites.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they install virtual machines. And the idea behind that is that give me a second here. I want to show a video, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the next topic because it's fun. Give me a second. I'm just trying to find the video that somebody sent me.
All right.
It was Mr. Villarreal that I think went to sleep already. Hold on, let me see if I find it here. Where was it? Oh, I know where I found it. Hold on. I posted it. Hold on. Where, oh, where, where?
For the average everyday user, Dan, would this be an easy install or a hard install?
It depends. It depends on the user.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second here. Oh, come on.
Oh my God! Okay.
Hold on. This is funny. Copy. All right, here we go. So let's go back to the screen. We're gonna go to the theater.
There he is.
All right. Did you lose me or what?
No, your buddy.
Who? Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's asleep. I tell you. So let's go to the theater. Let me turn off the... Where was it? Hold on. Alright. Display capture. No. And then... Where's the theater? Theater background. There we go. Okay. And then video. You'd think I would have all this prepped. Really? Oh, because it's not a file. Not a problem. There we go. Browser 2. There we go.
Oh my God! Okay.
Reading your credit report easily. At this time, have your Equifax report in front of you. Your credit report.
There we go. Let's start it over again.
You did. You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Yeah, basically what the deal is with the video. Let me start it again.
Hello. So, in just a few minutes, Elon Musk will be joining us here live on stage for a conversation. Rumor has it there are a few things to talk about with him. We will see. But
I can't
before that,
shut the video down.
I just want to show you something special.
Are you there? Are you there?
About that.
Are you
You
there?
there?
There you are.
Yeah. So basically what the deal is, as you know, Elon Musk bought Twitter. And you know that the left is going nuts. They're going berserk.
Over a person
Because-
buying that one.
Well, you know, the thing is that they're afraid that he's going to restore Trump's account. You know, because the reason why that Musk bought Twitter is to protect freedom of speech. And, you know, there's been this idea out there that Facebook and Google are biased.
Are
Against
biased.
Republicans primarily. Yeah, against Republicans primarily.
Oh, so that's the story.
That's a story. So the left is going crazy because they're afraid that Musk is going to restore Trump's account, and the Twitter's going to become the internet alternative, kind of like Fox News did
Uh-huh.
with TV. So there's a lot of anger right now because they feel that Musk is a threat. You know, I mean, the reality of it is he's got money and he pretty much can do whatever he wants with it. You know,
Read that.
I know, I just saw it. Musk wants to purge the trolls and fake news garbage. Yeah. That could be possible. You know. But obviously, you know, people are going nuts. You know, we already have a local anti-Musk crowd down here. For different reasons, right?
Right.
But, you know, and but unfortunately no amount of spray paint is going to stop this purchase at this point. You know, so but there definitely is some concern about, you know, social media, and then, you know, how it swings one way or the other. But I mean, eventually, I think it's going to be very difficult for any social media company to say, I'm taking away your account because I don't agree with you. You know.
Even if it's national security.
Well, national security is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But if you just want to take somebody's account away because you don't agree with it, then I can see Musk's point, where he's advocating freedom of speech. You know, now of course, that opens a lot of things. You know, any group out there
Okay.
will.
Let's talk about that. Can you yell fire in a theater?
Fire?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Can you yell bomb on an airplane?
Well, no.
There are certain consequences, all right, for that speech. Right?
Yeah, there are certain consequences.
That's what yeah. We have the freedom of speech. But yet there's certain words, right, that just shouldn't be said. And if by limiting that person or those persons' ability to spread that speech, I think it's in the public's best interest.
Well, yeah, when it comes to those kind of terms, yeah. But I don't think in Trump's case he actually used those words.
Well, I don't know. I never followed the guy, so right?
You didn't follow him on Twitter?
No, sir. No, I don't even have a Twitter account.
I do.
My wife wouldn't let me. So
Why?
I don't know. Speaking about the wife, she's calling me.
Oh, bringing you dinner?
Yeah, right. Hey, she's probably at Target.
Oh, well, you're not going to have no dinner.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of interesting, with regards to Twitter. We all know that was a vehicle and a mechanism used by Trump during the election, the first election.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it contributed to his success. But
So what? Who's success?
to his electability the first time around.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I think that the approach that Twitter took by taking his account off, and I know that they took it off after January 6th, right?
Oh, hey.
He had it up until
Right.
January 6th.
Right.
But I think that the approach that they took was just not because of January 6th, but just in general. I'm pretty sure they probably already had it planned way before, but obviously they weren't going to do it in November because that would have gotten Republicans very upset. So they didn't want to stir the pot. I mean, it's like today. I mean, if
What?
if, for example, somebody hadn't leaked the Supreme Court ruling, the abortion ruling,
Yes.
Nobody would have known until June or July.
Mm-hmm.
But I think somebody leaked it on purpose to tip the election a certain way. Whether you agree with the topic, don't agree with the topic or not, but that's very unusual that any court case with regards to the Supreme Court was leaked like that. I don't think it just so happened it was a slip of the finger. Because it's a contentious issue.
Very.
Just like any
Very
other issue.
contentious. You're talking about Roe versus Wade, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Very.
I think it was meant to get one side riled up enough to flip the election, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I'd be curious to find out who did it. I don't believe it was any of the justices. I think it was probably a clerk.
It might have been.
Or it could have been somebody hidden in the Supreme Court. You never know, right? But definitely, I think there was something going on there. But once again, you and I both know that locally here, the anti-Musk crowd is fueled by environmentalists, leftists primarily, that don't want Musk here at all.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that he can do to change their minds.
Right.
So,
And they're entitled to their opinion.
they are entitled to their opinion. The problem is that a lot of times they want to express their opinion, but they want to knock everybody else out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, but it's a big thing. I'm not getting rid of my Twitter account by any means.
Really?
Whatever.
No.
I'm guessing in Hong Kong and to me too.
But
But we may have a discussion here in the future about about that whole topic, you know, but it is a funny video, you know, because people are going nuts over Twitter and Elon Musk. I mean, it almost seems somebody put a joke out there. Well, Mike Huckabee put a joke out there that said that it almost seemed like these people were acting like he was going to go to every American city and turn the water off.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, this was today's episode. I just threw this at the last minute. I mean, if you've got any old machines
20th
out there,
episode was awesome.
yeah, I mean, there's different ways to repurpose an old PC. You know, and there's alternatives if you want to have a machine that you can browse and do basic word processing, spreadsheets, PowerPoint, you know, without having the money to buy Microsoft Office. Oops, I think you got disconnected. Alrighty, folks. We thank everybody for showing up. Steve logged off already, but we will see you on our next show. Maybe next week. We thank everybody for watching.